And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, for all of the star power Blake Griffin had when he was in Los Angeles, it was tough for him to be the leader of the Clippers. There were bigger voices in the locker room, such as CP3 and Doc Rivers. The Pistons coach Dwayne Casey said, in Detroit, he's definitely the leader. When he speaks, everybody listens. This is his team. Kevin?
Yeah, and he has their confidence. David, thank you. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Detroit. On Monday, they'll defend home court against the Orlando Magic. Then on Wednesday, they'll go up against Kristaps Porzingis and the Dallas Mavericks.
And for the matchup with the Cavs, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
And look at the starters for the Cavaliers. The duo inside, Love and Thompson. Sexton and Osman on the perimeter. And it's Garland in at the point. And for Detroit, on the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Rose is out there with Reggie Jackson. And it's Brown in at the small forward.
Well, a great three-point shooting team for many, many years. The Cavs took a massive step backward last season, and their inability to score from downtown really cost them.
Now here's Rose. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And Rose, so dangerous coming off the pick. All he needs is a half step, and he can do the rest.
Here's Osman. Pass to Love. 6 to shoot. Now, here's Garland. He's covered by Brown, and the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Yeah, you know, you look at the problems the Cavaliers have had on offense, Brent, second to last in the league in total points a season ago.
Yeah, they just didn't have shooters, Kevin, so really hard to get back into games where you have 10 and 12-point deficits and nobody to drill shots from the three-point line. They were okay inside the arc, but that ability to shoot, boy, that helps.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Now here's Love. To the inside. Sexton the pass to Garland. They get a hand on it. Griffin looking around. Inside. Now here's Rose. Tight defense on him. Back to Griffin. Shoots over Garland. And Griffin scores. The assist by Rose.
And that's the role they want for Rose. Getting guys going through his passing, especially when he can find them in rhythm.
To the wing on the left. Here's Love. Rebound Andre Drummond.
And I'm not sure that is a shot that he should be taking.
No, he should know better. He knows that's not his game, which is why we don't see him take that shot often.
And so is Detroit, holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. They're shooting the ball so well in this one, a great performance from the field. We've got more in store for you right after this. Andre Drummond says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Just a great job, really, of making the game ugly, trying to muck it up a little bit out there.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So on the floor for Cleveland, we've got Nance. Clarkson is out there with Porter. Then there's Kevin Love, and it's Windler in at the 3 spot. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, in Blake Griffin, the Pistons have their biggest star in years, probably going back to their championship team of 2004. A return to all-star form for Blake meant tremendous individual numbers last season. The Pistons hadn't won a playoff game in more than a decade. Still not the result they want in 2019. The Pistons will be trying to capitalize during Blake's prime. Kevin, we'll see where this franchise goes from here.
We sure will, David, but he's a terrific player. Thank you so much.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
Nance, no good on the free throw.
In a coaching hire by the Cavaliers that caught most off guard, John Beilein had led the Michigan Wolverines for 12 seasons, their all-time leader in coaching wins.
Well, there was also talk the year prior about John Beilein joining the Detroit Pistons organization, so finally making the jump to the NBA, where it's a much different challenge. It's going to be very interesting to see how it is that Coach Beilein implements a lot of his offensive schemes that were so successful in college.
And this is his second trip to the line tonight.
And just 72% from the line a season ago. Not the greatest of numbers, but there are guys who are far worse off when it comes to free throw shooting.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Well, the athleticism here runs in the genes for Larry Nance Jr. You remember his dad back in 1984 was in the NBA slam dunk contest. And the cool story about Larry Nance playing in Cleveland, in the town he grew up in. That's awesome stuff.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Drummond's checked in for Morris. Griffin comes in for Langston Galloway. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Frazier. Detroit leading by 6.
2 for 1, probably the way to go.
Don't want to rush it, but you don't want to take too much time here.
Here's Griffin. Offensive rebound. Drummond working against Thompson. Another shot. The shot up and in with the jumper near the hoop.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Sexton with it. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Jump shot is good. And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. A good size advantage, and they'll look to increase it. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks. Dwayne, you're ahead. How do you keep this up for the rest of the game?
Well, maintain the disposition. I think we got to have a tough mental disposition against this team because they're going to keep playing. They know how to play the physical game. We did a good job in that half. We've got to maintain that.
Case, thanks for your time. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Detroit finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They have a 6-point lead. Kenny?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
Shaq, how do you think Cleveland played?
Well, they're not matching up well defensively, giving up a lot of open looks, a lot of easy points. They're allowing a crazy high shooting percentage, 60% and up. Time to step it up quick.
And And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Brent, offensive versatility, all the rage now. Which guards do you think do the best job of generating offense with their back to the basket?
I don't know so much as these guys are playing with their back to the basket, Kevin, so much as they're finding ways to get the ball without a dribble at about 15 feet away from the basket. So one dribble, they're at the rim.
Right.
They're very effective at the mid-range. Chris Paul and DeMar DeRozan have had tremendous efficiency from those areas on the floor. So those are the kind of players that put some pressure on your defense because they're starting their offense so close to the basket, and they're effective with which they do it. Not on the post, not on the perimeter, and they're finding ways to be impactful.
On the front line, the talented duo of Griffin and Drummond. Rose is out there with Reggie Jackson. And it's Brown in at the three, the small forward. That's the group for Detroit right now. Here's Osman, defended by Griffin. Over to the wing. The wide open look for Love. The three-pointer, no good.
Well, even though he misses that one, the defense has got to talk about that, Kevin. That's a bad miscue, and you can't give up looks like that all game long.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Sexton finds Thompson. Here is Love. Poked away. Griffin with the steal. Over Love. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. That one on Love.
And Griffin is physical right there, bumping in and picking up a personal.
This is his first free throw of the game.
In last season, he made good on about 3 out of every 4 free throw attempts. And last time I checked, I think that's 75%.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Griffin.
Well, he's one of the more popular players in the NBA in terms of fan support. They just love Blake Griffin's charisma.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Doomboy is checked in for Bruce Brown. Luke Kennard comes in for Rose. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Porter kicks to Osman. Oh, and there's the alley-oop.
Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
Yeah, you're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk. All of it perfect. Pass to Griffin. It's not going to go for him. From deep three-point range, off target with that shot. And so it's the Detroit Pistons heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. Looking good at this point, but wanting more. And we'll be right back after this. Here now a chance to show you our assist of the game, and it's presented as always by State Farm.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
Coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
Fourth quarter of action is upon us. Thanks as always for joining us. And so Galloway with it. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. And Cleveland looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Porter is out there with Jordan Clarkson. Then there's Larry Nance. And it's Osman in at the 4 spot. Griffin got a hand on it. And they're moving it up. Floats one. The shot by Clarkson, no good. Pistons leading by 7. To the middle. Here's Griffin. And that's in. Nice feet on the play. Griffin's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Pistons. And so here's Cleveland. 1:19 left to play here in the fourth. Here's Clarkson. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. To the left wing. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
Well, Griffin staying strong down low. Even when he knows the hit is coming, Kevin, great concentration and toughness shown there.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that'll push the lead to double digits. For the Pistons, Brown is checked in for Doumbouya. Rose comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Jackson in for Langston Galloway. Griffin hits them both. 1:04 left in the fourth quarter. To the left side wing. 16 feet away. That one off the back iron and out. Pistons shooting the lights out in this one, 77%.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Pistons.
The biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
Yeah, they were working hard on both sides of the floor, but that sky-high field goal percentage plus the pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Love the effort tonight.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Blake Griffin.
Now, this was a showcase night of his skills offensively.
And so it's Detroit with the W. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Blake, very strong game offensively. What gave you the confidence to take over?
I'm just putting in the work, and my teammates, honestly, believing in me and telling me to be confident at the end of the game. So I owe a lot to them. They came up with big plays. Just everybody working together.
Very good win for you tonight, Blake. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. See you next time.